Hey pop-up people, I am here with another lesson for you. We are going to make a drawing of these crazy noodle shapes. So really what we're going to be doing is basically learning how to make things that appear to be in the foreground and the background. And we're going to do a little bit of shading too. So I did mine on an index card. But you can really do this on any paper anywhere. But I just happen to have an index card lying around, so I thought it'd be cool because it crops off the noodle shapes on the edges. So I'm going to start, here's my index card, and I'm using a mechanical pencil. So if you have one of those, I definitely recommend those. It's really, I find, great for shading, especially when we're working with these small areas that we're going to be doing. But if you don't, you can always just use a regular pencil. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to make our noodly shapes. And you will need an eraser. So whether it be on the end of the pencil or if you have just like a separate one, that's fine too. All right, so I'm just going to be kind of random. And I'm going to go slow and try to keep my lines parallel so it stays the same width for all of my noodle shapes. Then I think I'm going to have the next one overlap. Now let's go with the loop-de-loop here. So to do the second one, just make believe like this line I'm doing next to it should always be following along that line. And then we continue all the way around. All right, maybe I'll do one that goes over here. You can have them, they come like off of one edge of the paper and then come out the other edge of the paper. I'm not going to have any end anywhere on here. All right, let's do. I'm trying to find areas where it's sort of empty, where there's not a lot of action going on, and add the noodles in that area just to get a little balance. I think I can do one more. There. All right, so we can't really tell what's in front and what's in the back. Right now they actually look transparent, so that we would see whatever is behind it through this one. So we need to decide where we want to have things being in front and where we want to have things behind. So let's start up here. I think I'm going to have this noodle here be in the front. So whatever lines that are inside that noodle, you need to erase. If I accidentally erase some of the stuff that I want to keep, like this line right here, just go back in and add it. Now it looks like this is in front and this is in back. So we continue all the places where they're overlapping, and you have control over which ones you want to have at front, which ones you have in back. So see this noodle here. I'm going to have one part of it in front and one part of it in back. So let's have this part in front. And then I'll just repair anything here I erased. So now you can see this is in front and this is in back. This one I'm going to do the opposite. I'd like to have this noodle here in front and that one in the back. So that means I need to erase whatever's inside this one. Now this one's in front. Okay, I've got two more here. So this actually is one, but I still need to figure out which part of this one noodle I want to have in front. I'm going to make this part in front and this part in back. So let's see, since this is in back, I think I'll make this part in front. It makes it more interesting if you mix up what's in front and what's in back. There. All right, so now I can see what's in the foreground and what's in the background. So the next thing we're going to do is some shading. So if you look at the finish, you can see I added some shadows to behind whatever is in front, because that would be casting a shadow onto what's behind it. So we need to find all of our intersections, and then we're going to add shading to whatever noodle is behind. So I'm just going to hold my pencil at an angle and very, very lightly start add a little bit of shading. And you want to start light, and then when it's closer to where they're next to each other, that should be darker. And then it should get lighter as you move out. So there's one. And now this is definitely popping out more. So you want to continue doing this for each of the intersections. Now this one's at a little bit of an angle, so the shading needs to be at an angle. Now these kind of lessons I've been doing, they're almost like little doodles in a way, but they are definitely skills that you're going to use if you're going to do any kind of more complicated kind of drawing. So it's almost like a little practice. All right, so this is in front, so a shadow would be on this noodle behind it. If you have one of those little blending tools made of cardboard, you can even use those to get in here and kind of smudge this out and soften it. I wouldn't recommend using your finger because it would be too big and it would end up just smudging it everywhere. See, two more. This one's at an angle, so I do a shade and angle. There, so now I have all of the shadows I need just to make the noodles look like you know what's in front and what's in back. Now, last thing we're going to do is just really subtly, we're going to add a little bit of shadow all along the side of the edge, and that will help make it look like it's not so flat, that it has actually a roundness to the noodle. So really, really, really lightly, subtly, I'm really not even putting any pressure down. I don't know if it was subconscious, but I just realized that I made spaghetti for dinner tonight. I'm drawing it. Feel free to move your paper around to get your hand at the right angle. I'm keeping mine straight so you can see it better. You should always stop, take a look, see if you need to make any adjustments. So it looks like I just have a few more on this side left. It's easy to get kind of caught up in what you're doing and not really see the whole picture. So I recommend it every once in a while. Just take a break, stay back, take a look at what you're doing. One more left. Now it's mine. I went with one more step, which you already do once you're done with this part. And I added a color to the background. So all in between here, I added color. I used color pencil, but you can really use anything, and that will add even more depth to your picture and make the noodles really stand out. And that's it. So this would be like if you were to add color, or you can just keep it like that. All right, thanks for joining us for another drawing class, and hopefully I'm looking forward to seeing you guys again.